Yo, yo, yo. How we doing? How's the mic sounding? The test sounded pretty good, so I think we're going to be alright. But let's see, there's a couple people here. In due time. I don't know if Pass the Blunt and JCast are still here, but yo, appreciate you guys showing up. We're going to get started here in just a second. I got pretty much everything ready, but just give me another minute or two. All right, y'all, we're ready. Let's see, Lycan, remember you. That name sounds super familiar, bro. I'm having a mental block because like my brain knows I know the name. I know we talked. Was it, man? I don't know if it was Twitter or some other place, but three people video the other day. All right, that sounds, man. I talked to so many people, but your name sounds so familiar, man. Keep reminding me. It's gonna come to me. In due time. Thank you, Matt Cipher. I see the Twitch chat where I got the multi-stream chat working, so we're good. Reese, I think I'm saying your name right. First time catching a live stream. Is there a Discord server? I don't have one yet, but that is coming. But I normally am in Parvision's Discord most of the time, so shout out to him. I'd go check that out. But real quick, guys, I do have a little reveal for you. I wanna show you guys something that came in the mail here. I think this is the right one. Nope. Yeah, y'all see it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this one. So I got the Fro. I got the headset on with the Fro. I'm trying to make it look all right. But you know, in honor of the Fro party and the Fro video, Lafro hitting 100K views. That's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Had to get the Fro. I'm actually thinking about, this was like the cheapest one I could find, so maybe in the future, especially if it hits like 200K plus, maybe I'll get like a super Fro. There's some like $30+ ones that are like you know, like real big, so maybe in the future we'll upgrade. But 3-Day, I see you. I need to make you a mod, but I'm not sure how on this screen. Maybe I don't even know how to, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But thanks for coming. Like, and okay, now I remember that. Now the Luffy attacks being ancient weapons. Now I remember that. Now I remember you. Pass the Blunt. I'm excited for this. I'm a new viewer, but I love watching theories. I've been binge watching all of them. That's amazing. Appreciate you coming. Like in Parvid. Yep. That's it. I'm always in the Parvision live streams, and that's it. Matt, yep. Got the Fro. His sandals are definitely ancient weapons. Alright, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. So I'm not going to show the movie on screen just because that's 2 hours of straight footage. And even if I put like an opacity filter, I'm a little worried. So I have the timer up there. So we're going to do the old-fashioned timer, you know, timer ordeal here. So I hope that's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started and just get the movie started just because it's a 2-hour movie. So, but, you know, we can chat about whatever. That's totally cool. You know, whatever. I'm just having the movie on just to have something on because I need to see the AFRO references, but we can talk about 1062 or whatever. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. I'm gonna try to start the timer at the exact same time. Timer started. All right, should be good, and you guys shouldn't be able to hear it. That's what it looks like. We're good. I'm going to keep the lo-fi on really low just because I'm sure a lot of you aren't even going to watch the movie, but... give me 1 second to lower the volume. I got a lot on screen right now. Here we go. There we go. Alright, I got the movie on. We're good, guys. If y'all are watching, the timer is accurate, so... Or the timer looks like it. Did it stop? It stopped on my. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I got it. We're good. Go right there. Now we're good. Liking. I appreciate it, man. The AFRO video has been crazy. I think we're at like almost 130K views on my end, so that's like, that's insane. That's way more than I had expected. So, I really appreciate it. That you guys have been crazy. I got another video coming tomorrow, by the way, guys. I'm not quite done, so I don't have it like loaded up for like a preview thing, but there will be a new video tomorrow. I don't want to give too much away, but it's Halloween themed. Thank you, 3Day. I appreciate you. So I've seen this movie before, but I don't remember anything other than Shiki being in it, and someone told me I need to watch it for the AFROs, so if I happen to miss it, shout at me, or if you guys even know some of them already, prep me. Reese said, I really liked your Sun God Emu theory. I read a Legend of Taiko drum origin, and I think you'll find it interesting. I may have to look that up. I'm actually going to put it in my phone right now. You know, whenever you guys come to the streams and tell me stuff about my theories that I need to look up, I take that like pretty seriously because you guys are putting the effort to come tell me, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna do that. Taiko drum. I have like a whole list of things I look up whenever I'm in a researching mood. Taiko drum, Sun God, I'll put that. I actually have an addition to the Sun God theory. I don't want to give too much away, but it's probably my next mega theory. That'll probably be, I would say, expect 2 or 3 weeks on that, probably the end of the month. I'll have the next, it'll be like a 30-40 minute video, kind of Void Century stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but it expands on my Sun God Emu ideas in a scary way, I would say. All right, Matt Cypher, I'm ready for the point outs, because my attention will be split a little bit, so I feel like I might miss some important things, but we're good so far. Was that thing like a different banana gator type thing? It's weird. Damn. Why is there a kraken or an octopus thing on land that's beating up animals? For the spoiler? What spoiler? Did I see a spoiler? I've seen the movie, so there's no... I mean, a long time ago. I just don't remember anything, so it's not really spoiling me, but... Doc says formerly used after modifying... You know, it's so hard to tell, like, if it connects back to the main story or not, but I do feel like Oda... Like... I feel like the movies are sometimes like mini One Piece stories. You know what I mean? Like maybe this is like a... I mean, again, I've seen it, but I don't remember most. So maybe it's like a Punk Hazard-ish, you know, type movie. Like, I haven't seen all of them, but I know like some of them are like one of them's like Chopper's story, right? And then like the first one's like One Piece the movie, and it's like, I don't know, like a mini version of the whole story. I think I can't remember, but. Yeah, this movie is crazy. Made a comment about how Vegapunk, how Kid's epithet is Captain, just like Lilith is evil, Shaka is logic. Okay. You know, Kid and Vegapunk should have some kind of ties, right? Like, Kid literally controls metal. Like whenever Vegapunk said like there's no competent engineers or whatever, you would think like Kid should be one of the first people that, you know, like, I mean, not that he would even know, but Kid obviously is very like, ever since he was a kid, he had the wrench in his hand and all that, and then obviously he has the magnet fruit. So you would think, like, you know, Kid's gonna tie into this somehow, but Kid is, you know, out at going to a different island, so I'm not really sure, but he should be connected. Giant Robot and Kid have the same goggles. Okay. Lauren Williams, thank you for subscribing. May not even be in the chat, because that's how the thing works, but I appreciate you nonetheless. So the first 7 minutes of this movie are just just Luffy beating up random animals out in this temple forest thing. It also has the same or similar green color to Sad. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is another doctor, you know what I mean? So he may just connect to Vegapunk in some way. Like, I think Oda, like I said, like, these are like mini One Piece stories, so we may be able to kind of parallel out some you know, something, like, depending on how he uses it, maybe we can pull something from it. I'm not sure, but Strong World is with Burgundy World, right? I'm not sure what you mean. Where's my boy Brooke? What are these? I mean, would that be the best way to foreshadow the thing we were talking about with Vasco? I mean, it wouldn't be the best way. I mean, I think there's tons of foreshadowing already that you guys may find out here in a very soon to come video, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess it depends how it's used. Maybe there's something we can take from it. I don't know. Because like movies to me are like, you know, Oda. At least I think this one specifically, not all of them, but I think this one specifically was written by Oda, or at least he was involved. So it's like, is this your real hair? No, it's not. No, this is just for the stream. But I'm gonna wear it pretty often, so you know, it may as well be my hair. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is a wig. Like, it's, you know, it might be. Appreciate all the subs, everyone. I don't know if they're even in the chat or not, but I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have the afro on quite a bit. Like I said, maybe in the future I'll get a better one. This little loop keeps coming down, but I want to fix that. There we go. There we go. I gotta have the headphones on, so it's pushed down a little bit, but it was more spherical. I gotta get some like decent in-ear headphones. Jonathan said, what's the topic of the next theory vid for you? So I was saying earlier, I do have a video coming tomorrow. I don't have, I'm still working on it, but I will finish it after this. I'm almost done. It'll come out tomorrow, probably around noon. And this is actually, I think, going to be my first premiere. I think I'm going to premiere it. So you guys can expect a new video tomorrow, premiering at noon. If not noon, very soon after, because, like I said, I still got to finish it, but I'm not that far off. And all I can say is that it is Halloween related, and it talks about Endgame Brook. That's all I'll say. Halloween theme, Brook focus, but also something else. But Homie Seal, I see you. Nice afro, thank you. Thank you. You know, we got to celebrate the Lafro Tale hitting 100K views. That's pretty awesome. I really wasn't expecting it, so gotta celebrate. Jonathan said, looking forward to watching it. Oh, I hope you're gonna be there. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's a topic that people don't talk about. Like, I'm definitely like hitting, you know, 1% of, maybe not one, maybe like 10% of what the video is actually about, but It's an interesting topic for sure. Appreciate you guys all coming in here for the stream. I know it's like a 13-year-old movie. I mean, I know we're just hanging out, but I appreciate it. Supreme Lord, I see you. Hello. Sorry I skipped over your chat. I see you. Are there any either video topics or video, I don't know if genre is the right word, but is there any other like type of videos you guys want me to work on other than theory videos? Like theories are obviously my bread and butter, but I have a lot of other kind of thoughts that I'd like to talk about. But you know, like I definitely want to make sure that the first 4,000 people that subbed keep getting stuff they want. You know what I mean? So if anyone character analysis is always good. Will of D. Well, you know, this is a good time to bring up the fact that I didn't say it in the AFRO Tale video, but I'm pretty sure the D is Davy. I mean, I'm not going to probably make a whole video just on this, so I can talk about it, but I think the D is Davy. And it's the will of D because just like Laboon's whole crew, when they were dying, it was like, you know, we just need Laboon to, like, you just need to see Laboon again or whatever. And so it's the will of D because it's like, you know, the will of Davy, like they want to see Davy again or like bring Davy back or what have you. Character analysis would also be awesome. Series on absolute bonkers, 99% on like debunking theory. You know what? Maybe that'll be my stream. Like I'll be evil Hidden Island and I'll bring bad theories on so I can destroy them. But like at the same time, try to give like fair criticism. Like I'm not just there to dunk on them, but like at the same time, like I'll get purposefully ones that, you know, I can critique, and I don't know. That might be a good idea. I think character analysis is a good one. I think Momonosuke might be my first one, or Kaido, one of the two. I certainly do not think the will is Davy, and something that goes further and deeper than that. Well, I'm interested to hear what you think, because Davy is kind of my default, you know, because of the video, and it starts with D, but I thought Drum could be one. I thought Day, because like the dawn, like why would you want to bring the dawn? Because the day comes, right? But more towards celestial dragons and D-Clan opposing him. Yeah, like demons. RN Geronimo, what's up? One Piece card game locals vlogs. low key, some One Piece card game, like a vlog. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I would make it like a video, but like a live stream event. I mean, then I could cut it up into a video, yeah, I guess. But honestly, like nobody does One Piece card game, and that would be like really interesting, actually. Yo, Shiki and his crew dancing like that is crazy. If anyone's watching, that was insane. Imagine an in-person reverie and you have a card game. Honestly, getting some One Piece YouTubers together and playing the One Piece card game would be dope. That'd be like a fun, what crews do each YouTuber use, right? Like we could even make it so like only certain, you know, like we can't double up, like each person has to get a crew or type of deck or what have you. I don't really know the meta, so that might like instantly make some people lose, but I see a lot of Team APS videos where someone uses like the Kaiba deck and the other person uses the Yugi deck or some variation of it, so that'd be kind of cool. Hey, the English VA for Shiki's pretty good. I have the dub up so I can so I don't have to keep constantly staring at the subtitles. It's pretty good. And I can't wait till Film Red hits the theaters here in the US. Like, I bet a lot of you already know what goes on. Please don't spoil, but I don't know a single thing other than what's like been in the trailers, and I can't wait. The animation for movies is so much better. Jonathan said, what about theories focusing on the earliest arcs of One Piece? So, you know, a lot of my theories do involve the earliest parts, but, like, could you give me maybe, like, another example? Like, yeah, I don't know, just give me a Logtown Jaya, like... So, you mean, like, are you thinking maybe, like, what kind of theory, like, what's, like, an important thing that happened there that no one talks about? Or, like, here's a hint from that arc that might come into play later, or... we're gonna get a parallel of this arc, maybe something like that. Gotta get in on the One Piece D&D campaigns as well. You know, I've actually had a couple people reach out about One Piece D&D stuff a couple times, but that is like so foreign to me. But, you know, maybe now that we're doing something here on YouTube, maybe I need to revisit it. It was like very early days I had people reach out and I was like, man, I don't know, but maybe I should. I've seen a lot, like a few big YouTubers have been doing that, so. If Skypiea foreshadowed so much now, I think the earliest arcs will foreshadow the end. I think you're 100% right, and this is a good chance to shout out Hidden Island, because he released a video that's like a very good compliment to my Afro Tale video, and he talked about that, because, you know, Oda obviously expected One Piece to end a lot earlier than 1,000 chapters, right? Like, he probably expected it to end after a few hundred chapters, but then eventually got his contract extended and all that. So, like, he kind of laid out the story to end earlier. So there's probably a lot of endgame hints in the earlier arcs. And that's why I think Long Ring Longland's so important. And, like, you're talking about Skypiea. I mean, shoot. Like, Skypiea literally had a god that was going to, like, destroy the world. You know what I mean? That's basically, like, Emu-type stuff. So it's kind of, like, a whole endgame setup, but Oda, you know, once the contract extended or whatever you want to call it, you know, pretty interesting. I think there's a lot we can pull for sure. Fausto said, hey bro, congratulations on your channel. I'm a big One Piece fan. Thanks for the content. Bro, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I love the name Fausto. I used to be a big Cleveland, well, I still am a Cleveland fan, but Cleveland Indians fan. We used to have Fausto Carmona, who almost won us the chip one year. Now, I mean, he did do some illegal stuff afterwards that was sketchy, but he was, you know, I was a big fan. I love the name, so shout out. Appreciate you. Is this an Afro reference right here? Yoshiki's ruthless. Also, no disrespect, Foxy reminds me of Blackbeard. Foxy reminds me of Emu. And it's terrifying how many things you can pull that connect him and Emu. Yeah, that's true. The nose and the... I mean, maybe it's just a combo. Like, Oda's like, let me just put all the worst parts of all the villains together. And then, and, you know, just make them terrible. Ryan Stone said, yo, just watched Sacred Sword and Clockwork Island movie. Sheesh, Mihawk is a sword, and Usopp says that the soul Kaya gave me about Mary mind-blowing. Or that's the soul that Kaya gave me about Mary. Mihawk is definitely a sword. At least, well, something like that, at least. I think Parvision is 100,000% onto something. Now, is he just a sword? That's tough. Did someone get possessed? That's, like, at least what happened. That's how I feel. At least that. If not just being a sword. That Long Ring Longland being Raftel idea is the best I've seen so far, and I think it's correct. I appreciate it, and I 100% agree. You know, something... There's like a million comments I've had that back it up even more. And I'm probably going to make a video about, like, responding to comments, and I'll pick, like, 10 or 20 comments that were really good. And one of them is about, like, Long Ring Longland is a long ring of land. What is the red line? The red line is a long ring of land. Like, they're both like, it's such, like, a parallel, right? Like, one ring is, like, fun and free and adventurous and and enabled, you know, the AFRO to stay behind and all that. Like, one is important, and then you have the giant ring that screws up the whole world, right? So, very interesting. Congratulations on 4K subs, Gin Tone. That's you on a different account? What's up, man? Thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to Gin Tone. Lycan said Foxy could be foreshadowing for Rox. I think Foxy ties to a lot of the endgame villains, and Oda memed him super hard, so we just don't think about it. Pull it, do it, connect them, Foxy and Emu. Bro, I got it. Look at their hair. Foxy split in two, so he's two-piece, but then Emu has 4 points, so it's like the 4 blues. Foxy did say he was a legendary pirate. Does anybody find Brooks suspicious? The whole yo-ho-ho seems very Joy Boy-like. Could he maybe a descendant of Joy Boy? Yes. I think, well, you know, my whole theory is that Joy Boy had an afro, right? That's the whole thing, is that he had an afro. So Brook has an afro, and he's a very joyful person that loves music and literally says yo-ho-ho, which is in the song. It would just make perfect sense that he would be Joy Boy if the afro theory is true. If it's true, yes. Yes. I think 100%. But now it's also like did Joy Boy even have a kid? Like, Luffy isn't the type that, like, he probably did, but Luffy doesn't seem, you know, very interested in women or anything, so maybe it's like not his direct descendant, but like Joy Boy's brother had children or something. But 100% I think they're related. I think so. I'd be shocked if they weren't. What's up, homie Seal? If we're speaking about Rox and Davy Jones, I'm ready. Hit me with it. Did you see the generational stuff I posted? No, but could you maybe send me a DM with it, with like the first one, and I can scroll down after that so I can read it after this? Lycan said exactly that part. Yes. I'm glad that you think that way too, because the yo-ho-ho and the Brook being so happy to me is like, and he also came in after Long Ring Longland, right? So it's almost like Oda's like, well, shoot, I was about to introduce this Afro skeleton thing that was supposed to be Joy Boy. Like, the Afro, you know, the Afro was going to be on a skeleton, or at least on a whatever, right? It was supposed to be like a dead person with an Afro left behind. So he's like, screw it, I'll just make the same person, but a future version of him, and it'll be Brook. You know, like, to me, it all lines up. Like, you know, Oda's like, I already had this guy planned out. I might as well just make him a different character, and we'll just rework everything. Salamander Red, Lafro Tail was fire. The only miss was that Buggy never said he can't go to that island disease. So I've had like 20 comments on it, so I kind of haven't been replying to a lot of them because I answered the first one. I know a lot of people said it. Kind of like I said right after that, you know, since Roger and Luffy and Momo and Odin all had the same thing happen with Zoe, and then we see, like, Usopp and Buggy did get sick. Whether or not it's the same title of the disease or not, it's the same thing where, like, we see all these very similar people getting sick near similar places. Well, we don't know if Buggy and Usopp were a similar place, but, like, Momo and Odin both felt sick near the same place, and Luffy and Roger felt sick near the same place, so it's like they have those parallels. And then since Buggy and Usopp are so similar, right, they're very similar people. So yeah, you might be right about the translation thing, and I didn't know that, but I think the weight of it is still there because the parallels are still really strong. Matt Cypher said, wait, so I had another thought. What if, like Long Ring Longland, the entire red line, I suppose, was supposed to rise and sink with the tides, allowing travel between the blues, but somebody's messing with the tides to keep it from happening? See, now that scares me, because what if that means that Davy is in the center of it? Like, what if... Because Long Ring Longland does extend pretty low, or Long Ring Longland, the red line extends pretty low, right? So if it extends down into the ocean, which it does, then maybe Davy's under it, so, like, to stop the world from getting, like, completely, you know, like so it can't sink down and back upwards to keep screwing with things, right? Like, he held it in place, and so whenever Joy Boy comes back, he can have Davy move and it'll break everything, but then, like, That'd be mayhem, probably. I'm not sure. I mean, Davy being like so big that the red line's like wrapped around it, so because like it stopped it from doing something. I mean, I don't know. I think we're gonna get something big with the red line that we don't expect. I think the red line is one of the hardest histories to pin down. Like, I don't know when it was made. I don't know. You know, I don't know when it was made, how it was made, who made it, because like the Lunarians lived on it, right? So it's kind of hard to say. Okay, so I think I see that fluid you were talking about, Matt Cypher, that might be kind of sad related potentially. I see my chat isn't updating, but I see it on the screen. But Jonathan said, about Joy Boy having an afro, what if the afro is representative of Gear 5? Gear 5 being the key or power represented in the Foxy fight by the afro. So, yeah, that, I think 100%. Like, I think, and I don't want to spoil my next video, but, you know, afros are, you know, spherical. But what are they made of? Right? What are they made of? They're made of a bunch of hairs that are very curly. And you could say that curls represent swirls. And swirls have been very important in One Piece. So it's literally a sphere made of swirls. And I don't want to go much further than that, but I think it's insanely important that it's made of swirls. It's literally, I mean, like, look, it's a bunch of swirly hairs that make a sphere. And Otis talked about swirls, and I don't want to go any further, but yes. Supreme Lord first stream, what I missed? Nothing. We're just hanging out, man. I got New World on. If you want to join, I got the timer above, but not a big deal. We're just hanging out. I'm just actually making a couple notes so I can get some of these clips for future videos, actually, because the movie clips always look really good. So I'm trying to get the AFRO clips and some other good ones. So we're just hanging out. You guys don't have to watch. I'm still answering the chat. Any Slobby, Tower of Law, foreshadowed Big Mom vs. Law, and the idea Law may be a Marine spy. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I do think Ennie's Lobby, like Water 7 Ennie's Lobby, I think that may have been set up to be potentially the final arc, like the take down the government arc, because if you think about it, like, I mean, it was taking place, like, it's like such a weird place, right? Like in the 24/7 sun and all that, and it's just like one of the most important government buildings, and the Gates of Justice are right there, so I feel like that could have been the end. But Matt Slafer, also Lunarians were a winged species who could still travel on high tides. True. Like, and it's weird that they lived on top of the red line, but that, the more I think about it, I might know the answer why, but it's going to be in a future video. So, RN Geronimo, one issue with your theory is one of the dudes from Drum Island had like 3 afros, which should have made him the strongest in the series. You're not wrong. You're not, I mean, and Brooke isn't even, you know, like a top 3 Straw Hat in strength, so you're right. I don't know. I think I might have to go delete the video. I think RN Geronimo may have just debunked the whole theory, guys. How on this blue planet can anything be wrong with a theory? Well, the main thing that can be wrong is that it doesn't happen. But until that happens, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. None of us know the answer until we know the answer. So I agree with you. I do agree. This just got really sad. We got this little girl out in the snow with these dragons. What the... Dang. Geronimo, you really got me thinking about this guy. I just had to look him up. And he's got boxing gloves and an afro. Wait, yes, okay, they're not they're afros. They're not boxing gloves, they're afros. Okay, never mind. So he's got afros for boxing gloves. All right. Do you think Vegapunk surviving this arc and gonna help build Pluton? Supreme Lord, I think you need to go watch my Pluton is a Mole video, or I have 2 videos on it. Because Pluton is down there chilling, waiting to get unearthed. Because he's a little cute moley boy. Probably like a mole train, like the Rocket Man. I don't want to give... I mean, go watch the video. I can't give it justice. The videos give it more justice, but... 3 Days said, wish I could hang out longer, but gotta go. Love the fro. See you next time. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I gotta read some more of the stuff you sent me yesterday, but I appreciate you stopping by. I'll DM you more answers to what you sent me. I'm gonna read it. His boxing gloves are yeah, see, that I don't know. That's unreal. That's crazy. I mean, if you use afros to punch, that's like you know Elizabello with the king punch? Just imagine if you did the afro king punch. I mean, you're literally the world. Like, you can't even do it because the world would explode. The world would actually be over if you did the afro king punch. So we're good. We're not going to do it. This girl has an afro too. Friend Harper with the super chat, I appreciate you. If you like Japanese music, y'all should check out a band called Bradio. The singer has an amazing fro. Well, I'm gonna put that down in my little notepad to check out later. Let's see. I mean, if he's got an afro, it can't be bad. That's just how it is. And I actually do love Japanese music, and I listen to like intros and random popular songs I find on Spotify all the time. So thank you, I appreciate you. I'm gonna check that out. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm assuming if he has an afro, it's some funky music. I would hope, or they, I don't know. I guess I don't know any. I don't even know if it's multiple people, but the opening song on Death Parade is... Oh, interesting. Okay. That's really interesting. I've never heard of them, but now that you say that, you know, I've definitely listened to that, so... Also, how I've been saying since forever that Rox could be Luffy, other granddad on his mom's side. I think we're heading towards that, 100%. I also think we're heading towards where Rox is not even a bad guy. I think we're heading towards where Rox wanted to stop Emu, which is not a bad thing, just, you know, all else being equal. Now, he obviously did some other sketchy stuff. Friend Harper, cheers. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for the super chat. I'm definitely going to check him out. Appreciate it. TS said, the Jolly Roger of Big Mom looks like an upside-down afro. That's true. She does, when she, her hair was kind of, poofy, you know, generally speaking, and if she puts it in a ponytail, then it'd be like a poof behind her and be like an afro. Peckham's had an afro. Guys, the more you look, the more afros there are. That's all I can say. The more you think about the afro, the more important it gets. Also, my multi-stream did stop working, so I'm having to read off the screen, so if I miss something, just keep shouting at me. Pluton might be a battleship turtle. And I need you to see the mole videos. The mole vibes are... Now, is it possible I'm wrong? Yes. But the main thing about the turtle that I've seen is, like, you know, it has all the different regions and stuff in Wano, but now that we know the structure of it, like, the turtle would be under the base level Wano, right? And it's just kind of like... And, like, they put the walls up after the fact. Like, it's I feel like the setup isn't as favorable to being a turtle as it once was. I mean, you know, like we were saying earlier, no theories are wrong until we know, but I'm 100% on the mole train, literally and figuratively, because it is a mole train. It explains the Brook running gag that everything that's left is only bones. Yes. Yes. Like, when you die, the only thing left is your bones, unless you have an afro, apparently. Like, other people's hair goes away, but not Brook's, because he has really deep roots. And actually, Brook said that, you know, like, the afro won't grow back, but actually, during the time skip, he actually grew a certain amount of height, like 11 centimeters or something, which I don't know if it's a skeleton or his afro, but I would guess it's his afro. That would make more... If he's going to grow at all, I would assume the afro. But I don't know. Also, peep how Big Mom infused her armament hockey with the rings on her fingers to reinforce the punch. Now that's interesting, and that is something that I've never really thought about, like infusing your hockey into like other things. Like, I wonder if there's like gems and stuff like that that can like, you know, channel hockey, kind of like swords do, like in a certain way. A thought on freedom from the philosophy I study. It means an absence of coercion. I like that. I think Luffy's view of freedom fits this view. He wants people to be free to adventure. Marines should protect. I'm sure you're gonna finish it. I 100% agree with you. I think that's it. Like, the freedom is absent of coercion, and also absent of like blockades that stop people from being free, right? Like it's one thing to not coerce, but it's also like, if there's, you know, like the red line that coerces you in like a physical way to not be free, right? So he's gonna make everyone as free as possible. I agree, and that might tie to his dream. Oda could always come up with something absurd, but the mole theory is really good. Yeah, I like the mole theory because it's the underworld factor. That's everything for me with the mole. Is it has to dig underground. So it could just be a drill, it could be something else, whatever, but the fact it's underworld related specifically, it has to go underground. And I've talked about the mole from Alabasta, but even in non-canon, in anime-only episodes, we've even seen moles on Long Ring Longland, of all places. Like, the Joy Boy place, we actually saw moles in anime-only episodes dig under the water to each section of Long Ring Longland, so that way people could go to whichever one whenever they wanted. It was actually Tanjit's son who did that, which is even crazier. So I think the moles are extremely important. Could definitely be a mole for Rear. I think Long Ring Longland foreshadowed Wano. Well, with the borders, I 100% agree. But is there more to it, you think? Like, because I feel like Thriller Bark to me is the Wano connection arc. Like, Long Ring Longland because of the borders and knocking it off, and there's a city underneath, etc. But I think Thriller Bark, like with the Oni stuff and just kind of like an army, like they have the zombie army, then the beast army. I feel like that. But I'm interested to see what else you think. Okay, friend Harper from earlier Marines, stop people who initiate force, not initiate force themselves. Yes. Yes, 100% agree. The Marines are doing ultimate coercion. But Luffy wants none. Luffy wants everyone to do whatever they want, whenever they want, if they feel like it, whenever. I 100% agree. Like she did it recently in the anime when she punched page 1. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that and maybe look at some of the other people, like, because Blackbeard has rings too, right? A lot of rings. So I'm gonna look back, because that's an interesting angle that I don't think anyone's ever said. That's really interesting. Like, getting, because I can see that, like, there being gems or some other type of substance that can channel hockey or do something to your hockey. I don't really know, because swords do it, right? Like, look at Enma. Enma had a personality and brought out hockey, so I feel like there's a chance. Long Ring Longland and Thriller Bark's locations are so similar. Yep, 100%. 100%. And think about this. In Water 7's between those arcs, and Water 7's becoming a ship, and Water 7 has an ancient city beneath it, and we know that that Thriller Bark is a moving ship that's in the Florian Triangle, which is important for some reason. We saw those big beasts. So it's like this whole row of the Grand Line is like really highlighted for some reason. So if everything is mirrored from the Grand Line into the New World, we're going to keep seeing moles until the big reveal. I actually like that. I actually, you know, maybe. I mean, the moles were found on the other side of the world is the thing, but... Alright. Oh, here, hold on. Maybe I can do this. Alright, I'm getting behind on the chats. Sorry. I think I'm trying to fix the multi-stream, but I can only see so many of them. Mind you, Long Ring Long Land is the same arc we find out about the Davy Back fight. I mean, yeah, the... Oda packed so many little important things back to back to back to back to back near a time when the story should have been ending, based on, you know, kind of like the timeline, like when he started One Piece. So that's very interesting. Like, I think there's a lot. Oh yes, I got multi-stream fixed. I can see the chats again. My conspiracy: the swamp fruit user guy has a cross on his shirt. It looks like the Kazuki clan crest without the bird stamp on it. Yeah, and that looks like whale tails, right? Like the ending of them look more like whale tails than actual crossbones. So I wonder really, you know, like how that all ties in, because I mean, it could be Poseidon connected, and we know the Caribou was just down in Fishman Island trying to take Shirahoshi, so it's interesting. Ugh, these movies are so suggestive. I peep everything, just like how Mihawk's sword could actually be a key, hence why it's so big. You know, it is interesting how Mihawk's sword also has like it's like a very gold ornate hilt to it, right? Like it stands out, at least in my opinion. And I mean, I think it's very important, like in the history of sword making, for sure. Tingaling, oh, what's up? What's up? Sick Afro. Oh, I know you like Afros. I know. I'm glad you like it. Like I was telling the chat, maybe like 10k, or maybe if Lafro Tale hits like 250k views or something, maybe I'll get a crazier one. This was literally the cheapest one, and it had 1 day delivery, even though it came in 2 days. But I feel like there aren't many theories regarding Water 7, even though there's so much Roger lore, and I couldn't agree with you more. Like I said in my Lafro Tale video, like Water 7 has the poneglyph that says where Uranus is. Like, that's like 100% to me. Like, there's poneglyphs that say where each ancient weapon is, and if you compare all the other ones that we've seen so far, Water 7 is just the best default place, I think. And I don't think enough people talk about the history of it, because it built Pluton, right? The old Water 7 built this crazy futuristic ship. So I think that ancient city was super advanced, and that's why we haven't seen it yet, because Oda knows if we see this super advanced city, we're going to get too many ideas, so he didn't want to show us anything. How else in the crystal methane fuck did they drill a hole through the red line to place Fishman Island? That I don't know, and that I feel like had to be Joy Boy. Like, Joy Boy's like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like, all I could do is make a hole for you, and it'll have to last 800 years. I'm sorry, 800 years later we'll get you out of here. But for right now, we're gonna have a hole to get some people through. That's all I can see. That's all I can think of is Joy Boy did it just so there's some entrance. But it's not big enough for whales, right? That's like kind of the thing. That's why the whales are separated, and that's how. I believe that's how Laboon got separated. Like, he was too small and he went through the hole, and then he grew and couldn't get back through the hole, something like that. Or at least I think that's what's implied. Like, Pluton drilled a hole in the red line for Fishman. That's possible too. That's possible too. You know, I've talked about how maybe Pluton dug through the world, like from Alabasta to Wano, which I still think is extremely, 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 extremely possible, because that's like the only way to move it safely without anyone seeing it. But I like. I mean, it could do that. I mean, that's the thing. It could just go through the ground and maybe through some part of the ocean. Like I don't really know the geography. And maybe it did go through the red line. Whale tree, Whitebeard ship was a whale. The Kazuki crest looked like whale tails. I'm glad you brought up Whitebeard ship because Whitebeard ship, you know, they said Whitebeard was the closest to the One Piece, and Whitebeard ship is a whale. Think about that. If he's the closest to the One Piece and he's riding a whale all the time, that is its symbolism, right? Tingling said Frankie's the only Straw Hat to meet both Roger and Odin. And is that potentially a foreshadow that, and maybe I'm spoiling a future video here, but is that a foreshadow that Vegapunk met Joy Boy and Luffy because Vegapunk's from the past? And Vegapunk met Joy Boy in the ancient Water 7 city, and then Vegapunk went in a time machine forward. And that's why Vegapunk's so smart, because he's from an advanced city. That's been my guess for Vegapunk. I have a bigger theory coming on it, but there's only 12 of you in here, so it's alright. I think Vegapunk might be from the ancient Water 7 city, and that's why he's so smart. He just took a time machine. And so that's like a parallel. Frankie met Roger and Odin, so then Vegapunk will meet Joy Boy and Luffy, and that's why he has a special interest in the Straw Hats, and why Kuma has had preferential treatment for Luffy despite Vegapunk but supposedly controlling him. Ties a lot of things together. I like the idea that Mihawk is a manifestation of the sword as it seeks out a perfect user. Could have been grooming Zoro for that reason. Now that's really interesting. So like, well, I think Par has maybe touched on that, but I think that's really interesting. Like Mihawk, like the sword made Mihawk to be the best swordsman, and this whole time he's wanted to find someone who's better than him. Like that sword is like, man, there's no way I'm the best. Like that sword's like, I might be the best right now, but you can be better than just a sword. You know, like there's got to be like a stronger will or what have you. What is this ancient Water 7 you speak of? So, in Water 7, there's an ancient city beneath Water 7, right? They said that there's a city beneath Water 7 that sunk, and that's why we see the current Water 7. It's built on top of it. And even the current Water 7 is sinking. And that's why it's becoming a ship, like icebergs turning it into a ship. So there's an ancient city beneath Water 7 that we have yet to physically see. And like I mentioned in AFRO Tale, like Roger visited there when he was getting all the poneglyphs, and it's the only place that he stopped at where we didn't see a poneglyph or see any history talked about or anything. And that's really weird, right? Like, why would Roger stop at all these places and keep reading poneglyph after poneglyph, and he goes to this place and we don't see anything? So I feel like this ancient Water 7 city is what built Pluton, right? We learned that, like, the ancient Water 7 shipwrights built Pluton, and that had to be before the Void Century, apparently. So I'm thinking that the city that existed there was super duper advanced in the past. Because if it built Pluton, and it has these ties to Frankie, meaning like maybe Vegapunk lived at that ancient Water 7 city too, I feel like that could really tie together. Do you think Water 7 was also supposed to have a wall like Wano, but they couldn't set it up in time? I think they had Uranus that kept tides out, and then Uranus died or got put away or whatever it is. And this all ties back to Vegapunk, because think about Vegapunk. He's on Egghead Island with a broken egg, and if Water 7 has this ancient city that might be tied to Uranus, and Uranus might come from Roger's egg, then Egghead Island ties to the egg, you know, and also ties to the egg that was on Roger's ship. And also think about the fact that Nami uses weather eggs, right? They're weather eggs. So I'm thinking that, this isn't really spoiling a video because I don't have a 100% idea yet, but that makes me think that the, like, weather eggs, like Roger's egg is just a giant weather egg, and there's some weather beast inside that also controls tides and all that, right? That's my guess. Outside of anime filler, is it confirmed that there's an ancient city under Alabasta? So there would be a trio of islands. I don't know if there is an ancient. I mean, we saw the hieroglyph room in Alabasta, right? So I don't know if that counts as an ancient city, but that's sort of an ancient city. Like, it's not a city, but maybe there's more to it. Because there was also remember Nami Vivi was playing in the ruins with Koza and they messed around with some bandit people or whatever. Those ruins seemed like they were buried and stuff, right? So maybe there is more to it and it just got covered up. Let's see. Salamander Red, did you peep Hidden's Rome Piece theory? I have seen it. That's like I've seen it, and I remember some main points, but that's like, you know, I've seen too many videos, I don't really remember. If there's a way that this ties in, I don't remember. Other than there being cities like Rome that, you know, got destroyed a long time ago. But maybe I need to rewatch it now that I have this theory brewing. Lycan, Gandhi Gorosei looks like Zoro's master, but bald. I gotta create, like, I don't know if I'm gonna make a video on it, and there's only 9 of you in here, so I can talk about it. I think Gandhi Gorosei is gonna, and I guess this is like a mini spoil, I guess I'll just lightly describe it. Light spoilers towards the end of Hunter x Hunter, but I think Gandhi Gorosei is gonna have similar powers to Netero and Netero's big battle. If you guys watch Hunter x Hunter, you'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like Gandhi Gorosei, it's going to be like Asura on steroids, basically. Imagine that. Like, Zoro is going to have to fight someone who's mastered Asura, essentially. Because if the old man really has the Shodai Katetsu, which is the best curse blade, then he has to have some crazy curse power of some sort. And I think it's like Super Asura type deal. Disconnects to Hidden's Rome theory. The straw hat is a grass crown that ancient Roman generals used to wear. That's right. Peep how Mark Antony had a big curly afro. Now that's something I might have to talk to Hidden about. Hidden's my boy. Hidden and I talk all the time. I might have to point that out to him. That is true. Like a lot of those Roman or Greek or whatever images, like people have like fro type things. That's interesting. Gandhi Gorosei could really be Zoro's master from his childhood. I don't think that can be true because of the Ohara incident, right? Like we saw all the Gorosei 20 years ago, at least to my knowledge. And they haven't even aged or anything, so I think that ties all together. With Alabasta based on Egypt, a necropolis would make sense. Now that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I like that. That's something I might have to think more about. Alabasta's ancient city. That's really interesting. Do you think if Zoro and Mihawk teamed up, they could attack the planet until it breaks? I think they could each, well, maybe not right now, but endgame, I think they could literally slice the planet in half, yes. Yes. Well, that's a pretty dope scene in the movie. Rob Lucci looks just like King Cobra. That is so true. Lycan, are you figuring out all the Gorosei secrets right now, man? Whoa. Curly hair was the common hairstyle for Roman in the past. They even had a device called the calamistrum to curl their hair. Those are swirls. I'm telling you guys, again, we're a couple weeks away, but my swirl mega theory, my Void Century swirl mega theory, it's going to be important, and it relates to curly hair, because curls are how you make an afro. Nobody has an afro with straight hair, unless you like get hit by lightning or something, but that's temporary. The afros that last 800 years are made of curls. Or swirls. What if Cobra had to give up his first child, Lucci, as a tribute to the... I feel like if anything, it's gonna be like, you know how Alabasta didn't join the world government a long time ago? Oh, this is a dope scene. Well, since Alabasta didn't join the world government a long time ago, maybe there was like Cobra had, or well, the distant version of Cobra had a brother or something, right? And that evil brother had a separate angle. Because, like, I don't know why Cobra had to give up his first... You know what I mean? Cobra's obviously... I mean, he was well-liked and all that. But in the past, I can see it. I like that. Like, you might be figuring out some secrets, man. Tingaling, bro, you gotta finish Gurren Lagann and learn about spirals. I just met the Spiral King. I have many shows I need to watch, and Gurren Lagann is the first one episode a night. I thought everybody knew Lucci always looked like Cobra to me. I've never even thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I've never even thought about it, but you're right. Like I'd have to like look at the pictures, but on my mental image in my head, like the curly facial hair, like the tightly organized facial hair, and just like the facial structure and everything. Yeah, I can already see it. Gurren Lagann is some crack stuff. Like, I don't want to. Maybe I'll chat you guys privately. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else, but there was a character I did not like, and I was like, and I had like this one moment where I was like, all right, maybe he's not so bad, and now he's not in the show anymore. If you watch Gurren Lagann, you probably know who I mean, and maybe he comes back, but right where I'm at, he's not in the show anymore. Never heard anyone say it, so it's a good observation, fellow One Piece viewer. Yeah, that's why I love having random discussion chats like this with you guys. These now I might. I mean, obviously I would credit you, but maybe this is going to take me on to a whole new theory video in the future. I love this. If Lucci and Cobra are related, could Lucci be his killer? Bro, you're talking. That's real talk. I mean, it's probably Emu, but at the same time, the CP0 probably know that Emu exists, so it doesn't matter. So Lucci could have been in that room. Damn. That's an idea. Matt Cypher said, please watch Gintama. Listen, that's on the list. That's on the list. But I have promised to first do Gurren Lagann, and then I have to at least get to Game of Thrones episode 9. So I didn't like the first few episodes, and someone made me get to episode 9. It was actually Hidden Island. So I gotta get to, once that happens, then Gintama's next. How about that? I haven't seen any other cases of children tributes to the Celestial Dragons before. Well, we had, I mean, all of CP0 might be children, right? Or like children originally, right? Like if you tie back to Mother Carmel, right? So, and like obviously, you know, Boa and all them were children. I feel like I don't know. I feel like there might be more going on than we think. Like just no one, like no lies. Stussy's design looks like Carrot, mad sus. Actually, my boy Jin Tone is he's been a little MIA on his videos, but I know he's working on one, and it's actually about Stussy's history a little bit. It's much more expansive, but that was part of it. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but I'm trying to hype it up a little bit. It's a very good one. Stussy may be way more important. Not Stussy, sorry, Starry. I get my people confused. Stussy's a different person I was talking to. But somebody brought up that Starry looks like somebody, and I don't want to spoil it. But there's a lot going on with Starry, and that's what it reminded me of. And Stussy as well. Someone else that I know is making a video on that. And Stussy's also extremely important. And like I want to say more, but I don't want to spoil their video, so I'm not. But I think Stussy and like I said, Starry, both those people are going to be extremely important. Would be a unique precedent. I hope the Straw Hats just body CP0 would be great. I think we're about to have a CP0 versus Sword clash. Like, you know, I think because basically, you know, Sword, like they're both, Sword said they wanted to go to Egghead Island to get a Seraphim because they want to help Kobe. And then if they show up to Egghead Island to get a Seraphim, but CP0 shows up at the same time to take out Vegapunk, then maybe CP0 is going to be like, hey, Sword, y'all gotta help us take out the Straw Hats and Vegapunk. And then Sword will be like, we gotta go help Kobe. Like, we don't really have time and resources to fight the Straw Hats and Vegapunk. Like, why would we fight Vegapunk? We need his inventions. Like, what are you talking? We need to go help Kobe. And so I think they're gonna have a little clash there. And then, you know, CP0, based on the talk with Drake during the raid, I think they know that that Sword exists. So I think when Sword and CP0 get to Egghead Island together, and Sword doesn't want to listen, CP0 is going to be like, well, we know about your little organization, so we're just going to kill you. So I think there could be like a big clash there. Gintama's goated. Brandon King. I might have to. I mean, I told Matt Cypher I'd check it out. I mean, it's obviously like well known for a reason, right? So I'll give it a shot. It memes all the big anime out there, including Naruto, Bleach, and even One Piece. I'll give it a shot. I mean, from the angle of royalty giving children to the... Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. You're right. And, I mean, why would they? Like, why would you want your kid to go be, like, a assailant, right? It's always orphans. So I guess you're right. What I was saying earlier backs up your point, that they had to go get orphans. They had to go do other stuff, right? They had to go find, like, kids that nobody would know are missing, basically, which is really weird. Whitebeard was the strongest man on the blue sea, and L was the strongest man on the white sea. Yep. And was there a strongest... I don't know if there's a red sea, but whatever you want to call the underground. Is there a underworld strongest? And I would say yes. And I would say you should watch my video that drops tomorrow that may tie into that. And this scene's pretty epic from New World, by the way. I don't even know if anyone's watching, but this is pretty insane. This is like... I'm getting a lot of... Oh, there's an AFRO. I'm getting some ideas. Cobra is a particular case, at least. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Vivi, by the way, because Vivi was seems to be gone for some reason, and it's like if they took Vivi and like you all talking about Cobra, like Lucci potentially being connected. I mean, if they're kidnapping Vivi, I mean, shoot, nothing's off limits, you know. Adam Jinrakai, what's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. Have not seen this movie in years. Yeah, same. That's the thing. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I just know Shiki's in it, and I know there's AFRO references. So it's really good. I love how movies are like the animation is, well, at least like the quality. I mean, the scenes aren't like, you know, super high impact all the time or anything, but like the quality of it is very crisp. Shout out to Adam Jinrakai, by the way. Everyone in here, go follow him if you don't know him already. You probably do. I looked at the statistics. We have pretty good overlap in subscribers. I'm a big stats nerd. I was looking at that. So if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. Faux show. Yo, just found your channel recently. You make phenomenal content, my dude. Keep up the good work. Joey, I appreciate you, man. Joey Haywood. I appreciate you. I actually have a movie. I have a video coming out tomorrow at noon. It should be noon unless we have technical difficulties. So I appreciate you, man. Definitely check that out tomorrow, but I appreciate you. I promise the content's going to keep coming. You know, I want to do this full time if I'm able to. Like, you know, I feel like my views this month are not a good barometer for the future because Afro Tale has been crazy, but it's totally possible. So, you know, guys just keep coming and supporting me for sure. I'll keep the content coming. Anyhow, I gotta go. Have a good one. Friend Harper, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna check out Bradio or Bradio. Probably Bradio. I'm probably butchering, I'm sorry. But I'm definitely gonna check that out after this. I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you in the future. Lycan said Whitebeard and Enel have the same character design, headband, staff weapon, and devil fruit names. That is actually really true. That is really, really true. Like, they're obviously a lot different. Obviously. Like, personality-wise. But that is interesting. Right, and and if you... what are their names? Like, it's the Goro Goro and the Gura Gura, right? That's how you say it in Japanese. Goro Goro for lightning and Gura Gura for earthquakes. That's really interesting. Hyro said, your theories are fire. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. They're gonna keep coming too. I got plenty more that no one's talking about, so I appreciate you. You guys have been crazy. Your support's the reason why they're gonna keep coming. You know, in the next week or two, some things are gonna move around, and I'm gonna have a lot more time to work on videos. So I'm gonna try bumping it up to 2 a week. Usually it's about 1 a week right now, but tomorrow I got one coming, so make sure you guys check that out. Joey said, "Hell yeah, I'll be watching all the content you got. You give Teching 101 a run for his money." Yeah, Tekking's a goat, man. I can't even compare myself to the goat. You know, it's so funny because part of me could just get on and talk about One Piece for 30 minutes about like any topic like he does. Maybe not quite like he does. He's pretty insane. But you know, part of me wants to do that, like just get on, make a basic video of me talking about stuff, and that's it. But I do like these kind of high production value, theory, well scripted kind of things I do too, and I don't want to mix it because those are two different vibes. You know what I mean? So I am trying to think of some. I don't want to say lower effort. That's probably the wrong word. I do want to think of some less time consuming content to make for you guys. But no matter what, it's going to be good stuff. An inside Whitebeard stash with 5 bananas and has a zipper behind it. Huge trap sign. Bro. Bro, I mean, Whitebeard's literally named Whitebeard, and he just, I know it's because, like, Japanese, you know, like, how they say it, but his name's literally Whitebeard. He doesn't even have a beard. Like, you know this man is doing some funny business. The dude can't even get his name right. Can't wait for that vid tomorrow. Hey, man, I hope you drop by. I'm actually going to do a premiere. I know you and I were talking about that. I'm going to do my first premiere tomorrow. I don't know. Hopefully I get a little bit of a crowd in there. The video is only going to be like 12 minutes. It's not going to be a super long one, but it's still a really good... It's an angle on stuff that nobody is talking about. I'm trying to get all my different branches of theories out, and then I'll maybe double up, or, you know, maybe do like a rerun if I get some extra info. But right now I'm trying to get all the different angles out there. Newgate Fringe is literally a neckbeard too, not a mustache. Man. Man. One Piece is just amazing. The characters we get, like the different, like the weird... The things that don't make sense, but we like it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we just accept it. What if Whitebeard Devil Fruit was actually a Thunder Devil Fruit, hence the quake bubbles, the cracks, and the close resemblance to the name NL Devil Fruit? I mean, it is just vibrations, right? Like, it's not actually earthquakes. Like all earthquakes are vibrations, right? Like, it doesn't even... Right? Like... So it could just be thunder. Like, the thunder is just like a sound wave, like a rumble, right? Man, this part of the movie is dramatic. A drum machine? What do you mean? Like the quake fruit, you mean? That's interesting, actually. I feel like Whitebeard's gonna have all sorts of hints to, like, stuff in the past, or like he's gonna, like, we're gonna be able to read a lot from him, like, by the time the story's over, and be like, oh man, like, he did this, that, and the third, and that was such an obvious tie to, like, these types of things. Like, I think he's hot, like, his story is not over, I think. Yo, screw the scientist clown shoes. Guys, what happened with Shiki's head? Like, I know it was the Ed War that he got the steering wheel stuck through his head, but like, how? Like, how does that even happen? Did Buggy awaken? I think this movie shows how much of a menace the Straw Hats could be. I mean, this movie is like, it's a little sketchy that Shiki is built up, you know, so much and he gets defeated. But some sort of drumming machine to be the Quake Fruit. Okay. Just Cyborg. Half his head missing doesn't hurt, but I think there's stuff with his body snatching going on with him and Wills. Luffy has some serious head injury too against Django, but all those brain injuries not mattering. I've been wondering if they were clues to the Tin Man from Oz. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, Luffy shouldn't have any brain injuries other than the hockey attacks. I mean, I feel like that's just never gonna be a... Like, it should be a thing. It should 100%. Luffy shouldn't even be able to make coherent sentences anymore. I don't know if he's ever gonna do it. So this is the GOAT OP Decipherist. Maybe. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see in the future. I guess it depends. I guess it depends if everything comes true. Salamander Red, Rumbar Pirates equal Lumbar Pirates. Lumbar is the part of the skeleton in your back. Brook's a skeleton trying to get back to his whale, like how Joy Boy was trying to get Davy back. Yes. I'm not sure if it actually... Well, it is funny that like R and L's, you know, are like they flip-flop, and it's Lumbar and Rumbar, and that would tie into Brook being a skeleton. That is true, and that is interesting. You know, honestly, I can't even rule it out. I can't even rule out that Oda would do something like that, honestly. I do want to know if like what Davy back is. Like I said in the video, it could be a fight to get Davy back. Some comments are a fight on Davy's back, which it said the first one was at Pirates Paradise Island, so it's kind of hard, but I do think something with getting Davy back is a good chance. Do not underestimate Sanji's ability to wield Enma Jr. Now you need to tell me more about what you're talking about, because I'm interested. Enma Jr., what do you mean? Like a knife that is souped up? That is like it pulls Conqueror's hockey out of him because it's like a cooking knife that's souped up? He gets Django's blade halfway through his head too. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we know in real life that if you get hit in the head just a couple times, your test scores are going down, to say the least. You know, if you get enough clocks to the head. So, you would imagine, but I feel like Luffy already has like such low IQ. It would be really interesting, and actually, I think you guys should definitely check out my video tomorrow if we're talking about this now. But I do think. Again, I don't think people are going to come back from the dead or anything bad like that, but I do think we're going to have a point where we see a lot of, you know, Whitebeard's corpse or Whitebeard's soul being controlled or whatever, you know, whatever it is. I do think we're going to have some point in the story where through some very, very special and reasonable means, we're gonna see dead people somehow, but it's gonna be through very special circumstances. Did you notice how in the recent chapter the Sea Kings resemble Chopper, Jabra, Kaku, Kuma, the Sunny, and Frankie in his current hoodie? No. And is there a connection between all of those that you can draw? Because those seem like Other than, you know, animals, obviously, but because they don't even all have like zone fruits, you know what I mean? So I'm interested in what that could entail. Or is there one creature that we don't have a good parallel for, and that might be a hint towards something in the future. I'm taking them as stupid clues of tin men not having brains, period, because they might not be created beings. Yeah, you know, so I like that because, you know, One Piece is also driven by, like, will, right? Like, how much does, like, at least, I guess it depends what your goal is or what your will is, right? Like, how much does your brain matter if your will is to do something else? Like, if you look in Chapter 0, Tanjit, the star of Lafro Tale, Tanjit was in Chapter 0, and I somehow didn't even notice this in my studies, but he was in Chapter 0, and he said that, and somebody was talking to him, and all he said was, "I want to be the world stilts champion." Like, he just ignored him completely. So maybe you're onto something. Like they're literally, like, I don't want to say they're robots, but they're almost like one-track minded, right? Like, their will is all that matters once they get locked onto something. Salamander Red said, Roger, Ace, and Luffy said they wanted to drink together. Yeah, so it's weird. Like, you'll see my video tomorrow, and I think it's going to open up a lot of good discussions. This is a dope part of the movie, by the way, where everyone busts in the outfits. Super dope. I don't know why Luffy even has a gun with, or whatever that is, but you know, it's weird because, like, I do want that to happen, but the circumstances required for Luffy to see Ace or Roger again are insane. It's possible. And with my video tomorrow, I'm sure you guys will be able to pick out some examples of how it's possible. My video tomorrow is definitely a new angle on something people don't talk about. It could foreshadow all of the characters who will take an interesting part in this chapter. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. That's obvious. I should have realized that. That's interesting. Like, okay. Like, they all might face off against each other or something. I like that. I mean, all those people are probably on a collision course to fight or be adjacent to the fight. Oh, see this sun in the background? How many rays? I bet there's 16 rays coming from it in this movie. I don't want to pause it and reset the timer, but... Got Robin here just shooting missiles. Oh man. Broke with the rocket launcher though. Shiki's so dumb. What if Rox, Garp, and Roger had different dreams, just like Luffy, Sabo, and Ace? Yep. I think you're definitely onto something. Now, were these people connected as kids in the same way? That I'm not positive on yet. Like, I genuinely don't know what their, like, far past histories are like just yet. But I do like that mindset that, like, all three may have even wanted the same thing, but they all took different ways to do it. Like, I like to think of, like, Rox was a pirate, for sure, obviously. But I almost like to think of him as, like, the revolutionary before the revolutionaries, if that makes sense. And it's like he was almost able to do it all himself. Like, he got so much power, he was trying, like, he didn't have a revolutionary army, it was just like his pirate crew doing the same thing, like fighting the celestial dragons, which seems to be the case. So I feel like it's like a similar thing. Like, each brother or each friend or whatever went their own separate path, but they all had the same goal. But for whatever reason, Rock's goal was just evil in that instance. Like, I don't think he was actually evil. That's my belief. I mean, he was evil, but not like Emu and a lot of, like, Kaido and all of them. I don't think he's quite as evil, at least from what we've seen. Like, for example, we have yet to see what Hito model Chopper has, and I think it could be Sasquatch. You know, I've seen a lot of people bring up what his fruit could be. I feel like it's just going to be a human fruit because that's just, well, the one thing that does throw it into question is that Blackbeard was looking for it, right? So if Blackbeard's looking for it, well, we shouldn't even say that. He came to Drum Island and he may have been looking for it. That's like what a lot of people think as he was looking for it. And now that we know that the Sun God Nika fruit, or whatever it's really called, is in existence, it makes human fruits kind of be highlighted. So that's a possibility. So maybe it is more than just a Hito Hito. But I hope it's just a Hito Hito. Just a regular, just a normal human. Personally. I just like the storyline. But I don't know if my boy Matt Cipher is still here, but Matt Cipher likes to talk about the forest god potential, which I do have some ideas for. But you know, if zone fruits having a will is a thing, then maybe in the past there was another reindeer or creature or similar that, you know, wanted to cure everything and whatnot, and he ate the human fruit, and then he was regarded as a forest god because they're like, oh crap, there's this like disease curing creature in the forest. He must be the forest god. He's a talking reindeer thing. You know, so I think that could be like a past storyline where his fruit's considered the forest god, but it's really just a regular Hito Hito. You think it's all about magic mushrooms and human evolution? I like that, like kind of that angle where it's like the Hito Hito is more of like, I guess the way you said, like a human evolution fruit, like an evolution fruit. Because I mean, I know Chopper uses his rumble balls to get the different points, but I like the fact that it's kind of like, maybe it's like a sandbox zone fruit, right? Like you can just transform into different creatures or evolutionary lines of your being, I guess. Eggy Nub, thank you for subscribing. Probably not in the chat, but I appreciate you nonetheless. I like that the subs come through from random people that aren't here on YouTube. It's pretty dope. I could turn it off, but I don't get enough of them yet to be annoying, so it only does the public ones. Dude, is this Koma Inu's dad in the movie? This thing's beastie. Chopper ate the model Wendigo. You know, it's tough because he is a reindeer, right? So like he looks like what you would expect him to look like, you know what I mean? He's just a brown, like haired monster thing. But I do think he, like I was saying earlier with the forest god, he could be considered a forest god or a Wendigo or whatever. And so it's like people consider this fruit to be mythical and super duper powerful. But just like I think, oh, I love Brooke laughing right there. That was hilarious. But I don't know. I hope. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be Hito Hito, but it's gonna have a past that ties into kind of what you guys are saying, some bigger forest storyline. To me, something I've been focusing on for too long is that Chopper got his name because these horns are made to cut down trees, and I keep thinking Yggdrasil and that might be related. That's interesting. Is that why he got that name? I didn't know that's why he got the name Chop. But I mean, that makes sense. Like, he didn't... Like, the name was... You know, it's not like it naturally came to him, I assume. So that's interesting. Mind you, Chopper's fruit changes and variations just like Luffy's. Well, you know, I have this whole agenda where the Nika fruit isn't the Nika fruit. But and so I think it's just the rubber, so I'm not sure how much it ties, but it is interesting. It is interesting that they have these like various modes by like manipulating their fruit, isn't it? I mean, obviously Chopper's is like chemically, but Matt Cipher, well, I just gave you, oh, this is dope. Thing in the movie, this lion thing, all these lion things, that's dope. I mean, we've talked about it, you know, I I found a way to agree with it. If it's, I think I can easily see the legend of the forest god being tied to this fruit, but it is just a human fruit. That's interesting. I did not know that that's why he got his name. That is really interesting, and we know Dr. Hear-You-Look is like top tier importance, at least in my opinion. Like one of the best flashbacks. This is a dope little sequence. So that's interesting. I agree that Nika is Gum Gum. I have different reasons. I totally think Nika is someone else. Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen the videos, I assume, but, or at least you know the argument, but yeah, I just, there aren't gods in One Piece. Like, we have not seen one. Until we do, I can't be convinced. Dude, is this some, like, Kaioken nonsense, right? What is this? What is Luffy doing? I mean, it's probably just Gear 2, but... But yeah, until we see an actual god in One Piece, like until they are verified in existence, I can't believe that they exist at all. Like we've heard legends, but every time we've heard a legend, they get like proven wrong. So to me, there aren't gods yet. Any god is just a strong human that was given the name God for being strong. On the armrest of the throne of the world where Emu stays, there are lion faces on the armrest. Now that's interesting. That's really interesting. I need to go look at that more. I need to go look at that throne more in that whole room. I bet you Oda has thrown a couple little hints around there. I need to go look at that. I'm glad you brought that up. Nika was the first Gum Gum user and was able to modify his own lineage factor, manipulate it like rubber, and pass down his legacy to Joy Boy or the Chosen One. I mean, it's tough. If you know, that's another thing. We haven't had proof that you can adjust the devil fruit, you know, going forward. So for me, it's tough. Like, we know there's wills, right? We know there's wills, so there's something with it. But I feel like, at least for me, I don't know. We're probably going to find out with Vegapunk here soon exactly how this works. I do think there is something with like a living lineage factor, and it can be manipulated, but I don't know exactly how it ties all together yet. I actually think the AFRO, stemming from Gaimon, who in the Viz is titled the Forest God, that's interesting, is the Forest God embodiment, but I know you have some great different ideas. Well, that, I did not know. If the Viz titles him as the Forest God, I gotta go rethink some things, because that's really interesting. Where Emu sat. Okay, same thing. But I think it takes different forms, like most ancient forest gods changing shape. It's actually a lion on one side and a sea lion. Wow, okay. You guys really got me thinking about this thing, this chair. Yo, this clown guy and Shiki's crew is a scrub. Oh. I didn't know Zoro used Asura in this movie. That's dope. I'm like taking notes for clips to get later for videos. I'm trying to get like a nice set of, like, a lot of clips for each character, so I don't need to like look clips up anymore. Oh, Brooke putting in work. Oh no. Yo, Sanji is so pissed. This is hilarious. This movie's really good. Sanji's showing out. Man, Sanji's just putting in that work. Lycan said, Gonfall, the former Goddess Skype, and the long-haired Gorosei member look the same. Yeah, that's like the one that I think I heard most commonly, but I didn't really think about some of these other ones. Like you mentioned, well, like the Gandhi-looking one has always had some Wano vibes, but I do get some specific vibes from Zoro's master. Oh, Brook in front of the moon! If anyone who's watching, there's Brook right in front of the moon again. I'm telling you. It's the Afro theories. It's facts. It's over. It's facts. It's over. Where are you on the Zoro is a fruit spectrum? My next vid is starting to cover some of that from the newest chapters, and I haven't really heard much outside of Par about that Zoro stuff. Zoro is a fruit? Do you mean like Zoro is a devil fruit or Zoro is a plant? I don't necessarily agree with either, but I do think Zoro being a plant, or at least having one plant parent, is 100% possible. I don't know if I'd agree with it, but I do think it's possible. But I do want to bring this up just since you kind of mentioned it adjacently. Zoro wanted something in chapter 1062, right? It was 1062. Yeah, it was the last one. Zoro wanted something in chapter 1062 from Vegapunk. I think it's probably the Ibisu town, healing the people in Ibisu town. But I hope that eventually we get Zoro to give one of his swords a devil fruit. That is my goal. Michael Evans, what's going on? I think I just responded to one of your comments earlier today. I think we were talking. I think that was today. Maybe it was yesterday. I know I was talking to you, though. How's it going, man? I'm glad you could stop by. I only got about 20 or so minutes left, but no, I'm glad you stopped by. We're just chatting, so if you got some questions, feel free to shoot them. Shoot them over. And I believe you. I just think it's all bad. A parasol that covers the world would be a huge afro blocking the sun. Well, maybe I'll DM you some stuff, because I have some stuff to say about that, about blocking the sun, that is going to be part of my mega theory that's coming out in a couple weeks. But I don't want to say too much. But I do think blocking the sun is going to happen. I don't want to say how, but I do think that is part of the end of the story, the crazy stuff that's going to happen. And I mean Tree Trunk specifically. I think he wants to ask about Enma's will, or the will and other swords. And the last option in the vid is the sword devil fruit one. So wait, you mean a tree trunk specifically, like Zoro is a tree trunk? Is that what you're saying? I'm getting a little confused. Sorry. But I think he wants to ask about Enma's will, or the wills in the other sword. That's something we gotta know about. Like, that is like, how don't we know? Like, I know we know a little bit. We know a little bit. But that's something that I just thought, like, Zoro's had his swords forever. We're getting very close to the world's strongest swordsman thing. You think we'd get to the point of where Zoro learns more about the will of the swords and he needs to start overcoming it and whatever, but it's like we're getting pretty close to the end and we still haven't learned anything. But I think a straight Berserk eclipse is coming. That's very possible. I think that's very possible. I haven't seen Berserk. I do want to. It's not on my list immediately, so I don't care about spoilers or anything, but it'll happen eventually. But I think you're on the right track. I think it's gonna happen in a very unexpected way, as Oda likes to do. It's gonna be a really good video, I think. Still trying. I got a really good thumbnail idea for it too. I think it's gonna be a good video. Potentially another 100K one. Potentially. I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks. I'm starting to think Nico Olvia and Jaguar D. Sol are about to come back into the story. They could have been the ones to save Sabo, which could reunite them all. You know, I'm glad you brought up. So Nico Olvia, I'm not so sure about. I'd have to like go kind of like relook at how her ending was situated, but Jaguar D. Sol, I agree with you, because Aokiji literally used Ice Time Capsule. Like, what are time capsules for? Like, I get it could just be the attack name, right? Like, he could just be, you know what I mean? Like, it could just be like a joke almost. Like, he just locks people in ice forever so they die or whatever. But it's called Ice Time Capsule, and time capsules are meant to come back eventually. So I totally agree with you. And about Sabo being the one to, or being the ones to save Sabo, which could reunite them all, that is interesting. I want my boy Bartolomeo. Oh, Brooke. Oh, okay. Sorry. I want Bartolomeo to have put a barrier up so he gets some major clout, like he stopped an emu attack. It's just like super duper duper major clout, save people. I'm a little crazy, lol. Zoro is one of the only characters that doesn't have a name badge on his first appearance, on a wooden cross that grows when he gets off of it, but something with a tree branch. You know, it's funny because it's hard for me to pick exactly what Zoro plant adjacent theory I like, but the Zoro having some actual tie to plants of some kind, I like it. I like it. It's such an Oda thing to have him be Mosshead and all that kind of stuff, and he eventually just has actual plant lineage. You know what I mean? I like it. But now I wonder how that could potentially tie into his powers, right? Because like Sanji had a modified body, like genetically or mechanically, whatever you want to call it. But Zoro might have a different body because it's a plant. Like maybe he can, for instance, get cut and then heal it immediately or some crazy stuff. I don't know. Luffy vs. Shiki is reminding me of a Mortal Kombat fight with stage transition. It's crazy. This movie is crazy. Like, I know I'm answering a lot of chats, but I'm sitting here watching the movie the whole time like, yo, this animation is great. This whole scene is crazy. I think Olvia is Lunarian or half Lunarian. That's interesting because of the hair. Explaining her brown... That's right, brown skin too. Meaning she could have survived the Buster Call. Now, that's interesting. It's just like, how didn't she come back at some point? It's kind of my question, but... I mean, she would eventually. I guess that's your point. I hope Robin's dad is alive. If not her. So Robin's dad... I feel like we have to at least hear about Robin's dad. Enma could be a devil fruit sword. Its creator said it was special in how Wano describes devil fruit as sorcery. Like, and I think Enma's gonna get a dragon fruit. That is my guess, because if you go to Oda's SBS, when he said what each crew member would get as a devil fruit, he said that Zoro's sword would get a fruit, and it would be Kaido's fruit. And obviously Enma has all these ties to Kaido directly and Wano, which has tons of dragon connections. And then you add in the fact that, you know, he just asked Vegapunk, like, I want something from you, which maybe it is the smiles, but it could easily lead into, hey, Vegapunk, I want to know how I can give my sword a devil fruit. Because then Zoro can have a devil fruit sword, a black blade that he makes his own, and then a curse blade. And this is really dope, by the way, in the movie, this final attack. Kaido vibes. The lightning is really weird. Adam Jin Rakai, but I'll DM you with more spoilers because the basics are a huge trap, but we can talk more. I think we're on the same track. Definitely, man. I know I love chat with you about some of these ideas. I've definitely gotten some boost to my own theories from it, so definitely shoot that over. And my stuff has been leading me to Zoro being an own kind lawnmower man that shaves afros. Whoa, whoa. Oh man, the afro shaving with Ryuma. Oh man, that scares me. Hold on a sec. This is an epic part of the movie. Man, Shiki's such a chump for thinking that would stop the attack. Shiki's way too obsessed with the East Blue. Like, I know that's like the whole villain thing, is villains like look down on, you know, like they underestimate people, but man, you gotta shut up about the East Blue, man. Like, come on. Yeah, Adam, if we're talking Zoro afro shaver talk, I mean, I'm not trying to start like any crazy agendas, but like, you know, I mean, Zoro's like not in my top ranking Straw Hats already. I don't hate him by any means. He's a great character, but he's not my personal favorites. But if we're talking afro shaving, man, talking easy last place. Anthony said, wonder if the Seraphim that takes after Boa will meet Luffy. If so, I wonder if she will be infatuated with him. I love that idea. I would love, like, or she just will refuse orders to attack Luffy, maybe, right? Like, or she'll purposefully miss every time or something. I love that idea. I want the, or like, and maybe Mihawk won't do a disrespectful sword thing, right? Like, he won't slice someone in the back unwillingly or something like that, right? Michael Evans, oh yeah, that's something. Are Kaido and Big Mom dead? I really hope not. I doubt it, and I hope not. I think Kaido is in the bottom of the water, like where Old Wano is. I think he's down there. Like, if you actually go watch my very first video I ever released, I talk about it. And I think he's in the water, and since he has a fish fruit, he can breathe in the water. But he can't move because he has a devil fruit, so he's probably just been waiting in the water this whole time for someone to find him. So then once Pluton gets released, because the borders get broken, then the water gets dumped out, and then Kaido's free again. Or Jack finds him, because Jack can talk to fish and stuff, and he's a fishman. That's what I think. But Big Mom, I think Big Mom's actually gone. I think Big Mom actually has been found. She's either been found or she's in the lava. It's one of the two. Because we know Big Mom's like crew attacked CP0, and we didn't really get a lot of info on that, and they haven't returned the whole cake apparently, so I think she's gone. That's my guess, or crew found her, but I don't know. Adam said, you already know Foreman's my video with the dragon fruit. That's what I'm thinking is on the surface, and there might be hidden intention somewhere. Well, yeah, definitely DM me. I'm definitely down to chat about some of these ideas for sure. Matt Cypher, in my headcanon, in my headcanon, I feel like Shiki resembles Emu in a way. I'm a man that controls the seas from the sky. That's true. And then you even see these sky people flying, right? Like they had wings kind of growing or whatever, and now they're able to fly back out or what have you. It's kind of like a symbol of freedom in a sense. Like once the person's defeated, they have freedom, or they have freedom again. Michael Evans, well, if they're will their fruits come back? If they're dead, the fruits have to go to the nearest fruit. Is one a tangerine? If they're dead, which again I really hope not, but if they are, I hope Kaido's fruit's on the Sunny, and we give it to Zoro for one of his swords. That's my goal. I want the crew to find a devil fruit. How is that not happen? The only one we've gotten is the Marimara, and we had to like work hard for it, you know. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nighton. I'm sorry if I'm destroying it. Nami getting Big Mom's fruit would be crazy. That is one of my favorite things to potentially happen. It would have to happen in the right way. Like, it would, you know, if Big Mom's already dead and they find it as a tangerine, it would feel a little empty to me. I think it could be a bigger moment, because Nami is like the real Big Mom in the sense of like she's actually like a good mom, right? So I like that. I like that a lot. Brandon Carey, my boy, just made it. Had to catch a volleyball W first. Hey, there we go. You actually weren't even allowed to join if you didn't get the W. So everyone, some W's to Brandon for getting his volleyball team a W. Adam said, I'm on the same page with Zoro. I like him, but I'm not beholden to favoritism for what the characters will do or won't do. I think it's a big Piccolo reference. Yeah, I like exactly. Like I like him. I know why other people like him. He has a lot of cool angles to him. I get why he's some people's favorite. I can't knock anyone for thinking that, but I just, to me, there are other things that I look for in characters, and they don't stand out as much. And I feel like, but I do feel like Zoro, as we've been kind of talking about, he's gonna have a much bigger connection. Like once we find out his history and this sword business and all that, maybe he'll get a little bit deeper. But I do like when Zoro stands up as like the pseudo captain, right? Like with the Vivi stuff, and even last chapter when Vegapunk's like, you know, that's Zoro over there. Like Zoro's ready to kill you. Like you don't get to just talk smack. Like Zoro can literally one-shot you from where he's standing. Like don't just stop. You know, that I like when Zoro's doing that stuff. Like he's stepping in as captain when Luffy's being dumb, I guess. Lycan said, I think Horty Jones could be the 10th Titanic captain. I feel like he's all wrinkled, right? He's all old and wrinkled and can't really do anything. So how would he come back? How do you expect? I guess Blackbeard, if Blackbeard's involved, could be something, but or reverse his age. That'd be like cheating. I don't know if that would work or not. I want Nami to get either Enel's fruit or a fruit that controls weather. Yeah, Monet's fruit also. Monet's fruit was another great one that I would have really liked. Feel like the ship has sailed on that one. It would make a lot of sense, but I feel like that's over and done with. I would have definitely preferred that, though. A great moment. Even though it's a movie. It's a great moment. Okay, my multi-stream froze. Give me a second, I see some of the chats. I can only see back up to Brandon right now, but I see someone asking, do I think the One Piece is a party or something like that? I can only see half the chat. Or like... I'm assuming that's what you're asking, I just can't see it, I'm sorry. But, if you're asking if I agree that... Hold on. I want to listen to this. Oh, that was a great ending. That was dope. That was a great ending of the movie. That was very cool. Hey, I'm empty. Okay, now I see it. I'm still a little behind on the other chats, but I see yours. Been watching your videos for the past 3 hours. Insane theories. What do you think about the Reddit thread where the One Piece is a party? I don't look at One Piece Reddit too much anymore, but if they said the One Piece itself is a party, I don't know about that. I mean, I've heard the One Piece, like the dream is to have a party or whatever. The thread from AFRO chick, I'll have to go read it. I only read it when people kind of send me ones to read, because I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of bad ones, and there's also a lot where once I read it, I'm like, I can't make a video on it because I just read it and I don't want to steal every single thing they just said. But I don't. I think it's some. I think like the dream, like the One Piece is gonna enable the world to have a party, which might be Luffy's dream. Like I have to go read the thread, but I do think like a party is gonna happen at the end. But I don't think the One Piece itself is a party. Obviously, I think it's an AFRO, but I do think there's gonna be a party involved. Okay, I know earlier Brandon Carey. I thought. Maybe if you're still here, you can tell me exactly what you said, but it looked like you said if I can give one person and a Devil Fruit a combo, who would I choose or something like that? Maybe retype it so I don't butcher it, but it was something like that. It was an interesting question. I wish I could scroll up. I got to figure out how to do that. Hey, I'm empty. You should check the thread. It's insanely well detailed, like a good long 30-minute read, and it's one of those theories that just make me disbelieve. It's titled One Piece by AFRO Chick. All right, I'll go check it out. It's probably decently upvoted, I assume, so I shouldn't have too much trouble finding it. Man, I know there was a couple other chats in there. I'm sorry I missed them, guys. Multi-stream is bugging with the YouTube chat specifically. If you could give any character any Devil Fruit, what fruit character combo would you do? Can I do Zoro's sword getting Kaido's fruit? Is that okay? It's not like a character. I mean, Enma is like alive. If that's okay, that is without question what I want. I want Zoro's sword to get that. If not, I got a good one. It involves just so everyone in the chat knows, Brandon Carey here. It was my 3rd subscriber ever, and just so everyone knows, he loves Usopp. It's his favorite character in the story by far. No character even compares to how much he likes Usopp. So I have a theory with Usopp, and it's not a new one. But I think he's going to get, or if I could choose, I would like him to get Kanjuro's fruit. Kanjuro obviously can like paint whatever, right? And we know that Usopp can draw really well because he drew the Jolly Roger, right? So I would like him to get Kanjuro's fruit because he can draw whatever ammo he wants, right? So he could make, he could just do dots of ink for just bullets, like random bullets. The way the fruit works, he can probably say, hey, this little bullet explodes. This little bullet does this, right? So I'd like him to... That would be my favorite combo. I think that'd be, like, the perfect match and, like, the powers mix. And obviously, Kanjuro is, like, a lying shithead, and Usopp lies all the time. So it's, like, it'd be a good matchup, like, personality-wise. So that's my guess. It's actually opposite day where Brandon Carey lives. Don't listen to his chats. Lycan said Blackbeard could have used Bonnie's Devil Fruit to reverse Horty Jones' aging, then handed her the government. I like that. I don't know about Horty Jones specifically, because he was like my least favorite villain maybe in the whole story. But okay, the movie's over by the way. I'll say this. Horty Jones' last name is Jones. Like Davy Jones. Right? So Horty Jones being like this semi-important fishman in the story that we've heard, it's weird that he has Jones as his last name. It's very weird. So I'm wondering if Davy has some connection to the Horty Jones family, right? Like Jones are all connected. Maybe I'm wrong. It just seems really crazy to me. And we also had Vanderdecken in that arc, which is like connected to the Flying Dutchman, which is like another classic pirate tale. So Brandon said I would love that for him. Might make Usopp a decent character. Momo the true goat. I think Momo will be my first character analysis video. Not that I have plenty more theories to do first, but I do need to get into some analysis. So by the way, I'm gonna get off in 3 minutes on the nose. I gotta get off very soon. I'm gonna go get some food, and then I gotta finish that video that I'm dropping tomorrow. So a couple more minutes, I'll answer the rest of the chats, and then we're gonna go. And FYI, just while I still have 13 people here, just so you guys know, I will probably be doing this every week. We'll probably have a Monday stream every week. I might watch an old movie. Maybe we'll just chat normally. Maybe I'll have some stuff to talk to you guys about. Maybe I'll have maybe I'll even do things where if I don't have, if there's not a chapter especially, maybe we will meet and I'll just kind of bounce some ideas off you guys, because whoever comes to the chat, you guys can voice what kind of videos you want, or we can just talk about some videos or give me some ideas or whatever you want. But Adam said, I think Usopp might be the silver tongue key to the whole series, the afros and the dreads. Well, if Usopp takes off his bandana, he has an afro, right? That's right. Isn't that a thing? I think that's a thing. So, I mean, just like Blackbeard, right? And so this is a video, this is a separate video that I'm going to work on later, but I just want to let everyone know. Think about Blackbeard, where he probably has an afro under his skull cap, whatever that is. I don't know what it's, whatever you want to call it. He wears different things, whatever you want to call it. He probably has an afro, and he has lots of black hair, and then Luffy obviously gets like a white afro in Gear 5, so if Blackbeard unleashed everything, it'd be like black versus white afro, potentially. And that would just be like insanely dope. So just think about that. That might actually be the thumbnail for a future video. It covers Luffy and Roger's dream, true history of the world, Joy Boy, Will of D, Devil Fruit origins, which I feel like is barely touched, and I totally agree. One Piece location and the treasure itself. Well, that is very interesting. I'll have to check it out. You know, obviously I just released my own, so I'm going to be very interested in trying to pick it apart, but hopefully it's really solid, like you say, and then maybe I'll be able to kind of boost my own theory somehow. But that's really interesting. The fact you're coming in here shouting it out makes me think it must be pretty good. Joey Haywood, who would win, Silvers Rayleigh or Ben Beckman? Today, Ben Beckman. In their primes, Rayleigh. Adam, I gotta DM you later because I think I might have cracked the Davy Jones stuff. That is David Bowie's real name, the original Starman himself. That is interesting. Definitely shoot me that. Shoot me whatever DMs you got. I actually have like 10 I gotta answer after this, but still shoot them over. I spend a good couple hours reading random stuff anyway, so. DCA Age, Monday stream, yes. Alright, well, we'll make it a thing. Probably around this time, too. At least that's what I hope for. It can be chapter discussion, but also whatever else is going on. Just our little hangout for us. In addition to the reactions, of course, that are happening on Thursdays. Lycan, that could be why Blackbeard recruited Hordy for his possible connection to Davy Jones. Now, that's a great idea. Monday streams discussing either recent chapters or theories would be enjoyable. Well, hey, I'm empty. Consider it done. Monday works for me really well. I think Monday is a good day. Usually the spoilers for the next chapter aren't out yet, or at least it's only the early version, so I don't have to worry as much. So let's do Monday, because then the official's out too, so everyone can come talk about it. So let's do that. Like it, I appreciate you. We'll keep in touch. Please, dude, this was an awesome discussion. All your chats were awesome. Like, you brought a lot of good ideas, so definitely keep coming, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate having you here. Kitsune no Hime. Yo, what up, man? First time watching you. I came here from Hidden Island stream. That's where I learned about you. I watched all your theories now, but what are you doing tonight? Well, we are unfortunately ending the stream right now. But like we were saying, every Monday we'll be doing this, and every Thursday for the chapters we'll be doing it right when they drop. But the rest of tonight, I'm actually editing a video that I'm dropping tomorrow. So I'll have a new video drop tomorrow, and I'm gonna do, what's it called, premiering. I'm gonna premiere it around noon tomorrow. You guys should see it sometime in the morning, so if you guys can stop by, definitely do so, or just watch it whenever you have time. If not, totally cool. Like, and I appreciate your time. Heck yeah, keep stopping by. I appreciate you. Adam, I totally agree with the Afro stuff. I think there is another level where dreads come in, one single living strain. Now that's an interesting angle to it. That's interesting, and it kind of goes back to like what I was talking about swirls too. It's like dreads are like, tied up really tight, like basically swirled extremely tight, you could think of it. So I like it. There's a lot of ties there. I need to bounce you around. Matt Cypher, we'll be talking as usual. Kitsune, I really like your mole stuff. It was a good theory. Oh, damn, I missed it. Okay, well, I'll be ready for it. Yeah, unfortunately, you got here just right at the end. I started at 8, but I was just going to go a couple hours. But don't worry, there'll be plenty of more opportunities. I appreciate you stopping by for sure. Like I said, Thursday, whenever the chapter comes out, I'll be on right when it comes out. We're going to do this every Monday, so definitely look forward to hearing more from you. And I'm glad you like the mole stuff. I actually think you should expect to see a mole post this week, because I've more than doubled my subs in the last week, since the AFRO came out. So there's thousands of people that follow me or that subscribe to me that haven't seen the mole theory, so I'm probably going to share that. So I'm glad you like it, because that's definitely something I want to push a little more, because that was like my original bread and butter. But hey, I'm empty. Hey, I'm going to drop you a follow on Twitter. If you ever catch up to the theory, let me know your thoughts if you got time. Cool. I actually just saw the notification, so I'll follow you back, and I'll reach out to you there once I read it. I'll try to read it tonight. I got to edit the video, but definitely tomorrow or the next day for sure. Definitely this week I'll get to it. I have a little note board of people telling me I need to go check things out, and this little notepad, and I just, whenever I have a couple hours and I'm not doing anything, I go check them out. So whenever I get a chance, I will, and I'll follow you back. Last chat, Adam swirls. Yeah, colic. I'm not. Do I know what that is? I'm not. My vocabulary is terrible, but I like where you're going with the idea. Lycan, well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out to give us content, interaction, peace. Absolutely, that's what it's all about. I appreciate you guys' support, even in the streams. Like I'm here watching a 13-year-old movie, and I had over 10 people the whole time. That's like way more than I expected. So I appreciate you guys coming in. We'll do this more often. It was great.